Hello 7 and welcome back to the channel. I've got something unique. For once I can actually talk to my sim racers and I can talk to my space simmers all within the same video, but only if you watch VR. But if you don't play in VR, then just still stick around. What we're going to be discussing today is how to get any overlay for sim racing or how to get any window in general into your VR headset. Now I say this is for sim racers and space simmers. Really, it's for anyone who does PC VR. This will work for any PC VR game. It will work for any headset that is capable of running for PC VR. And also, it will work for Steam VR, Oculus, OpenXR, you name it, you could throw it at it. This will do it. Trust me, it's good. It's not just good, it's bloody brilliant. So we're going to get into it now. What you're actually going to need is one piece of software only. And trust me, it is not that difficult. You're going to need OpenKneeBoard. That's the piece of software we're going to be using. So if you're a sim racer, you're going to want to be getting your overlay provider of choice, whether that is RaceLab, whether that's Armentario, whether that's Race Element, Trophy AI, really doesn't matter. As long as it opens your overlays in a separate window, you are good to go. You will be able to see them in VR. If you're an Elite Dangerous player and you're into cargo hauling or exobiology, you'll be able to basically bring up your web page and you'll be able to look at the destinations you're looking for. Rather than taking your headset off and going and clicking copy and then pasting it into your star map, you're going to be able to just look at where you want to go, type it in, and you're good to go. Trust me, this will save you a lot of time. So just a quick note, if you are a RaceLab user, RaceLab does have a VR option. I don't recommend it. I've never been able to get it to work. OpenKneeBoard just works out the box. It's just good. It's just better. If you try and run RaceLab VR and OpenKneeBoard, you're going to run into a bunch of problems, so don't bother. Right, so we are going to go to my desktop PC, which I'm already sat at, so I don't know why I said that. That's pretty stupid. And here we are. Here is the script that I have not followed at all when it comes to actually shooting this video, so we're going to get straight into something else. So this is OpenKneeBoard. As you will see, it looks very complicated. It really, really isn't. This is the third time of me trying to do this video. It's just a video that's doomed to fail, if I'm being honest. Yeah, last time OBS didn't record this bad boy, which is kind of important if I'm going to talk you through things. So yeah, right, but this is OpenKneeBoard. When you get into this, you're going to have a different page. So you'll have just a welcome page that's going to talk you through a couple of things. And you're going to have a bunch of tabs here. So these are called tabs on your left-hand side. These are what we're going to be bringing into your VR headset. What you can do is we are going to go straight to settings. You can go to tabs and you can delete all the ones that are present. You don't need them. So get rid of all them. We're going to be adding new tabs in a minute. Next thing you're going to do before we forget, or before you forget to do this, is you're going to go to input. You're going to look for recenter VR. This is really, really key. Set this to the same button you use to recenter your headset within game. The same goes for sim racers, for space simmers. Find your controller of choice and then bind it within there. I thoroughly recommend you do it for the same one that you use to recenter your view though. That's that when it comes to setting up the key binding. So next what we're going to do is we are going to create a new tab. So you're going to click add tab. Next thing you're looking for is window capture. So you're going to click window capture, then you're going to choose the window you're going to be looking for or you want to bring into your VR headset. So you'll see I've got a ton of them open here. All these are already in, they're already configured. So we're actually going to go for a different one just to show you that you could basically bring anything in here. Okay, so I'm going to be bringing in Microsoft Edge. That's the one I'm going to go with because I've already got everything else in here. I don't need to worry about the rest of that. So we're going to bring in Microsoft Edge. We are going to click capture this window. That's it done. Now what you can do here is you're going to go to settings. If you want to change the name, type in the new name if you want. I'm going to call this subscribe, if I can spell it, just so you can subscribe to the channel. See what I did there? Anyway, we're going to call that subscribe. We are going to go to show Windows mouse cursor. This is only important if you're bringing a window into your VR headset. Sim racers, if you're just bringing in overlays, don't tick this. You don't need it. We're going to click OK. The reason we're going to do that is obviously so you can see what you're subscribing to. Just a hint, it's just Dave GG. Red button's down there. Anyway, next we are going to go to virtual reality because that's where life is. So you'll be presented when you first come in, you're going to have kneeboard 1. You're going to disable that in VR. You don't use it. It doesn't really let you configure it. So just disable it. Then you're basically going to create kneeboard 2 and however many more you want. So we're going to create our kneeboard number 12. When you first open this, you're going to be presented with kneeboard or you're going to be presented with overlay. I forget. I think it's kneeboard mode, overlay mode. If you're just bringing in overlays, overlay mode will probably work. However, I always just go with kneeboard mode because I want to bring Windows in as well occasionally if I want to see MSI Afterburner or stuff like that. So I'm going to click, so basically click kneeboard is kind of what I'm saying there. Next, you're going to click independent. You don't want to mirror the other ones. So every single window you create or every kneeboard you create, you want to click independent, okay? Then you're going to click add. So next, you'll see enabled in VR. Keep that checked. It's kind of important. You need it. Then you're going to see positioning and size, you're going to see independent, then you're going to see default tab. We're going to click that, and then we're going to click subscribe, which is, if you remember, is our Microsoft Edge. Before I'm allowed to do anything here, I need to recenter now, so I'm going to click recenter now. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to in-game UI. We are going to disable header, footer, and bookmarks. That's going to give you a horrible header and a footer at the top and bottom of every single overlay. You don't need it, it's unsightly, and it's really, really distracting. Then we have another one called Gaze Zoom. So this will be important if you're bringing in a web page, for example. So Elite Dangerous players, I'm talking to you here. But what this is going to do is, as you look at the overlay in VR or the window, it's going to take it from A size to larger to allow you to read it easier. Handy if you've got something you want to have really small and you want to make it big, you can make it tiny. Then you can make it tiny, and then you can make it really big. I wish. But yeah, that's what you can do. Right, okay, so then opacity, self-explanatory. How visible do you want the background to be behind the overlay or the window you're taking in? Now we're going to go to the VR headset, and we're going to show you how to move this thing around, get it all laid out how you want it, and then just rinse and repeat for everything else you want to bring into the VR headset. Okay, so here we are in the LMU main screen. This will work for any race game, so don't worry about the game I've picked. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to look down. Well, actually, I'm going to look to the right, and you will see my MSI Afterburner. But as you see, if I look at it, it gets bigger. If I look away, it gets smaller. That's your gaze. So just so you're aware. Okay, so if I look down, this is where your VRs are going to be when you first get into your headset. So hopefully you can see that there. Now I'll look down, you'll start to see the window come up. And there it is in all its glory. So say you are playing Elite Dangerous, for example. It's disappeared now, so don't worry too much about that. As soon as I change the pitch, you'll see it come up. All I'm doing here is I'm clicking the down button in the vertical. If I click up, it goes up. If I click down on the left to right, it goes left. If I click up, it goes right. And then you've got the nearer and you've got the far away. Then you've got roll, which is what does this. And then you've got the yaw, which does this. So really handy. You can really, really configure this however you want this to look. I'm just going to keep it bog standard for the second. And I'm just going to change the pitch back to about there. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the height again, just so I can look up, and you can see that getting further away from me. Again, Elite Dangerous players, you're not going to want this in your clear vision, obviously, while you're looking at all your spacey goodness. So you're going to want it up there. Now, the cool thing about this is, if I actually go to the web page, I can see my cursor. So Elite Dangerous players, this is going to be really handy. Have this window off to the side, where you can basically drag your mouse off, and away you go. If I go to YouTube, then I will be able to see YouTube. And this is where life gets really, really cool. You could even watch YouTube. Going to mute that so that Rev doesn't copyright claim me. And then you can make it full screen if you particularly want to. Or you could double click it and have it back in the windowed mode. Now, if you are a streamer, you could have your stream up here, and then you could have your chat here, or you can bring the chat out into a different window and then just have your chat window up on here. And then you don't even have to have it in the foreground. That's now in the background on my PC, and I can still do whatever I want with it. I can still move it. I could turn off gaze to zoom. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to cut to my in-car game, and you can see what the overlays look like for me and how I've set these up. Okay, so here we are in the car. Now you can see everything's all over the place. The reason why I say to actually bind this to the same button as your recenter VR in-game is because I can just look straight ahead and do this. And then now all my overlays are there. I've got Rev up in the corner so I can watch YouTube while I race, which might make me a better racer, you never know. Can't get any worse. But you can see all my overlays are here. I've got clear sight of everything. I've got my standings down in the corner. I've got my fuel usage. I've got my MSI Afterburner up there, my track map, my telemetry, which will be the thing that you guys are interested in for sim racers. And you can see the fact that it all works nice and flawlessly. And then I've got my delta and my session timer. So there we are, that's how you get your overlays into VR. Hopefully you found that useful. If you have, please like the video, drop me a comment below, let me know if you've done this before, if you're aware of this, if this is new to you, are you going to use it? But I've been Just Dave reminding you all to keep it rubber side down, never give up, and remember, we do this for fun. So be nice to each other. Till next time, take care.